Hello, Daisy Cakes. This is Daisy X Machina, the drag queen detective who investigates all things speculative in science fiction, fantasy, and horror. And this is a Get Ready With Me where I get into drag to film a video later today. And we have Lynette here. Yay! Please say hello if you're here. And you may notice that I look a little bit different because tomorrow we're going to the Star Trek convention, and I was thinking about going um, in a costume as a Andorian because I have my Star Trek costume, and this is sort of a test run on the makeup, and I don't know. I think it probably looks okay on camera and from a distance, but when you get up close, it's looking a little cakey. So I'm not actually sure I'm going to do this tomorrow. We'll see. Lori is here. Yay. I hope you're feeling better, Lori. And DK is here. And John Crow sent me an email. His computer is no more. So he can't be joining us for some time, at least until he gets a new computer. But if you're watching this, John, you can use your phone if you want, if you have a smartphone. So, so yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do this tomorrow. And yeah, it's looking really patchy. Again, this is just up close. I'm sure it looks fine in the camera, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, how is everyone's reading going? I finished the volume 3 of Dungeon Crawler Carl. What was it called? The Anarchist Cookbook. And there were some slow parts for me in that until I got to the end, and then it just picked up and I couldn't put it down. It's just one of those books for me that I have trouble putting down. Love the series. I'm not going to jump into the next book until until I'm in a reading slump. So this is my new series to get me out of a reading slump. So I went and got the next Muir Lafferty. Oh God, I forgot the name of the book. Infinite something. This is Station Eternity books, the Midsolar Murders. Just gonna look up the name real quick. Infinite Archive. So it's very good. It's keeping me engaged, but as a murder mystery, like these are supposed to be like cozy murder mysteries. The murder is taking place like at 60% in the book, which is a little late. And there was a lot of buildup to get to this point. The writing and the situation is interesting enough that I'm keeping engaged. But to be honest, as a murder mystery, I would prefer the murders to happen a lot sooner, like maybe at the 20% mark. Flavia Deleuze did that a couple times too, where the murders took place like later. But it's fine. I'm still enjoying it. It's not that big of a deal. The trains are pretty confusing. Yeah. Yeah. They even put in a little map. But yeah, the trains were very confusing. Finished Contest by Matthew Riley. The best thing about it was the child wasn't annoying. I don't know that at all. Obviously, haven't been reading much. Have fallen asleep to some audiobooks recently. Yeah, I'm not that big into audiobooks. If I do an audiobook, I kind of like the full cast with all the special effects, like a radio play, because I find my mind wanders because I usually listen to it in the gym, and now I'm just listening to a podcast. But I don't know. Okay, so yeah, this blue. Really looks patchy if you get up close. And I used um, Mayron Clown White and mixed in some blue pigment. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do this tomorrow. And it could be I won't go in costume. But since I'm doing all this, I will film a Star Trek episode today. I'm just going to do like a tier rank thing. Like I said, I think this will look okay on camera and at a distance. Just like audiobooks. I hope you're feeling better, Lori. Contest is about a man trapped in New York library forced to do battle against aliens. So that sounds kind of cool. I love audiobooks because I often have holding books. You also dislike holding books for a long time. Okay, let's do something. I was just going to do purple. Well, maybe I should do blue. Just keep it all in the blue family. I'm going to do all blue. You have trouble holding books for a long time. I still think audiobooks are best for a series you really like, and doing rereads is okay if you miss a bit because you've already read it. Oh, yeah, that's true. There's actually a Lord of the Rings audiobook that was done by this it was done illegally, no, he didn't get like permission to promote it, but it's so good. He did sound effects, he did different voices. I think he just loaded it for free on YouTube or something. You can still find it if you roll search around in the Wayback Machine. But it was really good. So tomorrow at the Star Trek convention, um, I'm mostly there for William Shatner. Um, but I think Scott Bakula is also going to be speaking. And I wasn't a huge fan of Enterprise. His I think because it allegedly like went back to the beginning of the Federation. Um, but I always preferred the Federation as Gene Roddenberry envisioned it. I have trouble selecting a book, so I re-listened to The Kraken Project by Douglas Preston, which was about an AI becoming sentient. Now I have to pick up a new book. DK Moon likes the Enterprise. My favorite character in Enterprise was the dog. It could also just been the timing in my life. Getting a little burnt out on Star Trek in the 90s because he had, um, Next Gen, Deep Space Nine, and then I think Voyager, which I never got into. I was more into, um, Next Gen and Deep Space Nine, but there is at one point, there just seemed like there's so much Star Trek going on. But, my favorite Scott Bakula was Quantum Leap, which I, did quite like that. Oh, and, I noticed that there was a reboot of Quantum Leap, which I didn't know about. I haven't seen it, but I noticed it when I was flipping through Netflix because the next season of Wednesday Addams is out, which I quite like. It's kind of annoying that they're splitting it between, like, they're releasing half the episodes this month and then the rest of the episodes next month. I enjoyed the later season of Voyager when Seven was in it. I liked her and the Doctor. Never got into Quantum Leap. I'll be looking at Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday's good. Season one um, was really good. Season two so far, they're utilizing more of the family, the Adams family. Okay. Tim is here! Yay! Not that late. I have hundreds of unread books, but I'm having trouble picking what to read. Oh dear. Yeah. By the way, Tim, I'm blue because I'm testing out a makeup look because I'm going to a Star Trek convention tomorrow, and I was thinking about going as a Andorian. But once again, what it's looking like on screen does not It's not quite what it's looking like up close. Okay, anyway. Yes, Andorian. I'm going to the Star Trek convention tomorrow, and I was thinking about going, sort of cosplaying. It's just like I said, in the camera, it's a lot different than up close because I don't know. We'll see, Tim. Are you expecting people? Well, that's a good point, Lori or Lynette. And Dory personality best described as asshole. Was the first time we saw them Journey to Babel with the Andorian was an asshole, but he was a Klingon spy because remember his little antenna had a transmitter in it. You must be an artist. I could never achieve anything like that without step-by-step instructions. I'm really not an artist. I wish I was, because a lot of the really good drag artists can do amazing things. Yes, I've been doing drag now for doing these drag looks for a while that I've got more competent. But my trouble has always been I have trouble drawing a straight line. Hmm. You had an Dorian toy figure as a kid, 10 inches. Wow. I know there were Star Trek figurines or dolls or whatever, but I never got any. My half-second cousin, once removed, bought one of his books over to me to buy. The book is about my dad's half cousin. Wow, that's convoluted. Okay. Why am I going so fast? Usually it takes me longer, but Oh, I just, went over my line. Okay. It also go as Grand Admiral Thrawn, also blue, but Star Wars instead of Star Trek. I don't have any, Star Wars costuming. So the, video I was thinking about filming today is I looked up one of those, tier ranks for, um, tier ranking Star Wars movies and series. And I had forgotten about some of the our Star Trek movies and series, and I forgot some of the movies, like the next gen movies. I think my favorite one was The First Contact. But then the other ones were like, no big deal. I think the later, next generation movies suffered from not really having a great script or a great director because they just felt like they were okay. They were just but they were just like another, television episode rather than a, feature movie, at least to me. Sure, you like tier ranking videos? Some of the movies were good and some not so good, very varied qualities to those early movies. Well, nothing can beat the trilogy, um, Wrath of Khan, Search for Spock, and Voyage Home. Because that really was sort of a trilogy with the arc, with Spock dying and then resurrecting, and then um, the Voyage Home, of course, is I guess it wasn't really a trilogy, but it's the first time Spock was in his new regenerated body with uh, his new mind. Um, but seeing those three as a trilogy, and what's really neat about that is they're each a different style of movie too. Like Wrath of Khan is sort of this adventure thriller. Search for Spock, it's the weakest of the three, but that's like more of a sort of a character study. And then Voyage Home was more of a comedy. Oh, so good. The only TNG movie I rewatched is First Contact. I've actually seen all those. Surprise! Yay! Um, yeah, and then after that was a very big disappointment, which was the I keep wanting to call it Search for God. The 2, 3, 4, fifth Star Trek movie. And that almost killed the movie franchise because it was so bad. But then they Undiscovered Country was the sixth and final movie of the original series, which was pretty good. That's the one where the Klingons, and the, Federation finally make peace. And I even like the J.J. Abrams reboot with the new characters with Chris Pine as Kirk. But the, last movie they did of that wasn't great, but the first 2 movies were good. Han movie was good, Ricardo was great in that. Agreed, that's Wrath of Khan. Montalban was old, but in great shape and really played that part. Yeah, he really was well preserved, it was very good. Haven't watched any Trek since the last episode of Picard. Yeah, I like Picard. That it took me a while to grow into Picard, the, television show, but, I also like the very first Star Trek movie, the, not Voyage Home, the, motion picture. I remember thinking at the time, "Oh my god, the actors are so old." Um, but it was only, what, 10 years since the series went off. But I think for many people that, really like the motion picture like me, it was more for the nostalgia than for the storyline. Well, I didn't think it was that bad, the storyline. Yeah, it was very slow, the motion picture. Saw the first Pine movie at the theater, one of the last movies I saw at the theater. Hope you enjoyed it. I liked it. Haven't been to a movie theater in 15 years. Kind of miss it and kind of don't. I thought they were old too. I've only been to the cinema once since the start of the pandemic. Yeah, I just saw Superman. I go once or twice a year. My issue is I fall asleep in the theater a lot these days. So, but if you go to the 4D theater where the seats shake, it keeps me awake. It's a terrible reason to go, but I was on the fence about going to see Superman, but I really liked the preview with the super dog, and I kinda got pissed about people saying, "Oh, it's so political." I was like, "Well, I'm gonna see it." As it is about the ultimate illegal alien, Superman, versus a billionaire, Lex Luthor. Okay. Hmm. Dang, this is really patchy. Hmm. Should do a tier ranking of all of the Superman so you can put Dean Cain at the bottom. I don't like the expense of some of the audience behavior, but kind of miss the experience of a large screen experience. Yeah. Well, sometimes the audience behavior sort of makes a movie. Sort of when people are like cheering, or there's like this sort of group emotional impact, a response. Well, that would piss me off. I haven't seen anyone with phones and talking in a while. I don't like the expense. Well, there's one theater here in Vegas that's like $5 for to go during the day. Get some really bad behavior. Okay. You know what I haven't gone to in decades? Oh man, is a drive-in theater. Because there you get a really huge screen, and you get to be in your own little space, your car. And if you see that, that's the blue having flaked away. Audience is fine for Rocky Horror. I remember that. If you ever went to where you throw toast at the screen, that's like college stuff though. Yeah, they're maybe too quiet here. Do they even have drive-in theaters anymore? I went to one in the 80s. Yeah, that was the last time I went to one, the 80s. Closed in early 90s. There are a couple around. I'm going to try to fix this. I I have my blue mixture over here. I didn't think I would need it again, but I did check, and there is one. in Vegas. Okay, now that's too blue and doesn't match. Oh, actually, it's not too bad. But I don't believe you're supposed to keep your car running. So I don't know if I could deal with the heat of of sitting in a car in Vegas. Because even at night it can get into the 90s or hundreds. Or I guess you could just keep the car running. I don't know. It's been so long since I've been to a drive-in. I'm just trying to patch up all these. Yeah, the last drive-in I was at was it was with my parents, my father and stepmother, and it was uh, Battle for the Stars or Battle After the Stars with John Boy. And I think my father was curious about Star Wars because this was like right after Star Wars. And this was like a Star Wars like movie. And it starred John Boy Walton. I forget the actor's name. So E.T. at the drive-in, and glad I did because I was sobbing like an idiot. Facebook is full of threads about the heroic buffalo. Only drive-in movie I can remember going to with Jeremiah Johnson in the early 70s. Richard Thomas, thank you. By the way, that's a really bad movie. But there are a couple other reasons why my father thought he would like it. Because it was a retelling or reimagining of the Magnificent Seven, which was a retelling of the Seven Samurai. Anyway. Oh, and it had the another actor he liked, Robert Vaughn. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to give up on trying to fix this any more than I just did. Oh, Lori. Okay, please take care, Lori. Sorry about your retinas. Walton's a long time ago. Buffalo 1, Billionaire Trophy Hunter 0. Jeremiah Johnson, Robert Redford was so handsome. Yeah, that one he had a beard though, didn't he? Not that there's anything wrong with the beard, you just couldn't see his face as much. Am I thinking of something else? Oh, I also remember the very first drive-in I saw, and that was the movie MASH. Um, and I remember because I was a little kid at that time. Um, there was a scene where I don't know if she was actually nude or not, but when Hot Lips Houlihan, they like they did something to the showers and they like pulled the tent off the showers and she was like there in all her glory. I remember my parents made me duck my head down so I couldn't see it. They go, okay, you go to the floor. We'll tell you when you can come back up. So I never saw Hot Lips. He had a beard and it did hide his face pretty well. Too sickly sweet. Oh, the Waltons. I didn't love the Waltons, but did watch it a bit as a kid. I had to watch it. I liked the Waltons at the time, but as a teenager, my tastes have changed. Daisy, my parents were like that too. I was never allowed to watch this Newlywed Game. Yeah, Waltons was one of those shows that, like, again, I wasn't even a teenager, at least when it started, but it was like the show that we watched as a family. Oh man, that one. Okay, you don't. Okay, I think I better not try to push my luck on the any more with the under eyes. I do want to. Okay. I also dislike Little House on the Prairie and Highway to Heaven. Yeah, I never watched either of those. I mean, I saw a couple episodes of both, but, thank God my parents didn't make me watch Little House on the Prairie. The Waltons was enough. Love Little House and all the books. I think it's called Highway to Heaven about the angel played by Michael Landon. Just captured such a feel of early Americana. See, and I felt like I got that from the Waltons. Oh, shit. Okay, okay. Oh, with my hair, I do have a couple of white wigs, but, I didn't grab one for this. I just wanted to see about the makeup. Yeah, I really don't know. Okay, let's put on some lipstick and see what happens. My parents were children during the Depression, so I guess that's why they liked it so much. Are you talking about the Waltons or Little House? Because my parents weren't Depression; they were just like after that. Actually, my stepmother was a child during the Depression, but my father was born after that. But if you're born in the 30s, your parents were certainly telling you things about the Depression. But that's what I got from the Waltons. Yeah, the Waltons. I have a friend who was a child actor during the 70s, um, Ken Markey, and he was like in one episode of the Waltons. His biggest role was playing playing Pugsley Adams in one of those uh, Adams Family movies. They were really bad. Tell him I said that. Okay. My father loved telling us about how his sandwiches were just bread spread with lard. Yuck. My mother didn't have an easy time during the Depression. Her father died in 35 and life was very hard. She got trapping rabbits. I remember my stepmother, who was a child during the Depression, and my grandfather on my father's side, who was, I guess, a young man. Um, I remember my grandfather saying, "You guys weren't poor. You guys had it good." I actually forget what my stepmother's father did. I know he was like really big into ham radios. And some leg cramping. I danced too many hours last night. Well, good for you, DK. Going out dancing. I wish I could waltz some polka. Don't forget the blue balls. What? uh, I think I'm just going to stick on some lashes. So I'm going to get a new bottle of eyelash glue. Why? I have no idea. I danced a couple of clubs and bars with the college kids. I love going dancing, but shoot. I'm a little bit self-conscious now just because I hate being like the oldest person in the room dancing. I'm also the weirdo who, likes it when the dance floor is empty, and so I could be the only one dancing. It's like, more room for me, but a lot of people are like, when I say, "Oh, let's go to the dance floor," no one's out there, and they're like, "Well, we'll be the only ones." I'm like, "Well." I never get hangovers. I drink a bit, but I think getting exercise while drinking makes a difference. Well, that and being, hydrated, because hangovers are really when you're dehydrated, and, so if you have, like, sugary drink, that can dehydrate you, and if you don't have any water, that could be an issue. Glacial environment and possibly offer some protection from Andorian's intense ultraviolet light. It some puts out more UV due to the thin atmosphere. Oh, interesting. I'm assuming you Googled that. All I know about the green race is that they were like the sexy dancers, because I only remember seeing the green women dance, and I forget what they were called. I'll dance with no one on the floor. See, I actually prefer that. I think this is it. I still don't know if I'm gonna go out like this to a convention tomorrow. Okay. That's why you don't get hangovers. You stop drinking at 11 and switch to water. But even if you drink a lot, if you, like, alternate, like, a drink with water, you probably won't get a hangover. Okay. Um, I know you guys aren't seeing what I'm seeing. Have wig with antennas. I do have, like, a headband with some antennas, which I would use. Beer pong and got too competitive. Oh, Orions, there we are. The Orion slave dancers. That's the green women. There's one in the menagerie, and there was one, oh, I forget the episode's name, where they went to a mental institution. One of the inmates was a Orion slave girl. Looks good on camera, but the image today is a bit fuzzy. Oh, is it? Yeah, sorry about that. Well, I was going to do the this look um, for filming today. So we'll see how it looks. I can get the camera in focus. Okay. The wig I bought just because I was doing blue, this one. Thought I was going to do blue and purple, but whatever. Wasn't there one in the Chris Pine movie? I don't remember. Maybe. There I think in one of the series there was oh, you're talking about Orion? I don't know. Thanks, Tim. This is a Halloween look with that wig. Yeah, it's a bit Halloweeny. This wig from the guy I get Friston, the Hawaiian wig maker, is inspired by the Disney haunted house woman in the crystal ball. Let's put on some gloves. Okay, I know you guys want to see the Orion look. Actually, let me do it. This wig, let me try to find the antenna. The antenna are really small, but we'll see. Are the Andorian. I haven't really, this needs a little spray paint. I'm going to zoom out. Okay, the antenna are a little lame, but you know, this is the general idea of the look. The Orion crew member in the Chris Pine movie was Gala, communications cadet. So anyway, this would be my Andorian look. Oh, makes my teeth look really yellow. Yep. Okay, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. I might not even go and cosplay at all. It'll be fun enough just doing the video today. Or maybe I'll even go in drag as a human because I have that Star Trek uniform that you'll see me wear a couple times. It's really the only costume I have that was actually fitted for me. So, and I've gained some weight. So who even knows if it fits? Uh, does that really work? Rub some strawberries in your teeth and they will look white. Hmm. But I heard there's like this purple stuff that you can use that makes your teeth look white. Okay. Anyway, we are we are where we are. This will be my um, possibly Andorian Star Trek look. I will definitely film a video today. There's definitely things I do not like, mostly with the patchiness of the makeup, which I don't think you can see on camera or at a distance. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, guys, I should be back next week. Um, I don't know when I'll release the video, the Star Trek video, because it's like no one really knows about this convention if you're not going to it. So it's not like it's timely to release a Star Trek video, but we'll see. Um, and I should be back next week. As usual, ciao, and may all the books you read be blessed.